Quasidb weekly forecast video for the week beginning the 23rd of August. Going to look at the currency strength because we can see how, according to the sentiment, we can forecast what's going to be strong or what's going to be weak. We see we just had a nice update then, so that was good timing. CAD is currently the strongest, which would make sense sentimentally because the retail guys are shorting it. Because they're short CAD, that's why price has gone up. It's going to punish them. And pound is the weakest. Sentimentally, however, technically, because this is all proper technical, based on the high and low and the difference between where the bid price is from the low and from the high, Swiss and yen are weakest. So the Swiss franc could potentially move off that area because we're strong buy, but technically we're actually weak. So I think the Swiss franc is going to be moving, and the yen is in a good place for its weakness. So this area is strong buy, and this area is strong sell. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. If we were going to get a signal, it would be dollar Swiss short, because don't forget we're risk on, as we can see on the dashboard, because this sell up here is green, so it's telling us to buy the dips. However, the 24-hour difference over time is taking chunks away from the big picture. Okay, so if this does continue, we're going to probably go sentimentally risk off, and then the signals are going to completely change, and then we'll be risk off on the signals. Okay, so that's that logic there. So the dollar Swiss potentially short. Okay, so as for any other variables, I don't know if we're going to get any. Maybe Aussie dollar long, but Aussie is a little bit too skewed. So just before I talk about Dixie and S&P, I just want to explain to you what's going on with the Aussie. Is that we're so skewed on the sentiment, we haven't got any more stops left to run. If you think of it like a train, we've got nearly to the destination where it's unloaded all the cargo, and there isn't any more room to maneuver from a liquidity perspective. So we started the week 91% long. They got really burnt as Aussie yen fell. So they got pretty much destroyed, and so it's the punishment has been achieved, and then it's reversal scenario there. Okay, so the sentiment shifting since Sunday is 2%. So it's dynamically, so it's indication for price to go up. Look at the momentum, and both the bears and the bulls are getting screwed. Okay, monthly pivot, we're actually very technically bearish, but sentimentally we're reversing because of that terminal metaphor, and you see it all the time. And for that reason, we try to avoid when the train's getting to King's Cross, because it's only going to reverse on us. So we don't want to trade over 80% or below 20%. Okay, so this is dynamically potentially a good buy, but you'd want to be careful because technically we're very bearish, and we're pretty much banking on the fact that these guys are going to give up. Okay, and they haven't got access to sentiment, and so if they were aware of sentiment, they would hold on in their horrible drawdown, and then they'll just hope that they'll get to break even. But we have to hope that they don't have access to retail sentiment, and they're just going to bail. So that's that. So it looks like we're risk on, potentially dynamically from a shifting perspective since Sunday. S&P chart. Oh, this is gold. Actually, let's not go to gold, but you can just see that support, the B support. That's on this bearish Gartley. So that's the body of the harmonic. So that's always going to be strong. And test, rejection, and then above. So what does that say? 1762. Yeah. So 1762 is the level of interest. I wouldn't short it unless we're below that level, and you can see how it's quite responded to that support quite well, and then rejected off it, but they just got bought. So there we go. So that's gold, and it's going to ignore the sentiment like it has been for weeks and weeks and weeks, because this is the inflation trade. Okay, so if it's going up, you know, it's potentially it's a sign for a weak dollar, which I'll take you to now, which is the Dixie. So we can think of the pitchfork median line as like a magnet, and we had lots of respects of that, and lots of respects of the lower support. And because of that, this line now, we can think of this as resistance there, and this is your support. Okay, so you know, you could have potentially entered with your stop up here. It's slightly risky, and you're banking on the fact that we're going to go risk on, which, you know, you knew kind of that we would go risk on, but there's always a little bit of a gamble. So that's the shift channel top, and also a confluence on the 61.8 as well. So that could have been a good entry, and so we'll have to see. And I think this is going to be a good support, because you see this is actually 42 candles, and these are hourly candles. There's you know, 2 days of support there, so I think it's going to be a good support. If it comes down, then you know, it should have a healthy test of it, and it will bounce quite hard. But then we can have resistance on this median line again. So potentially, where are we here? Maybe sideways, up, and then we'll come down, and it's going to zigzag. So what was I going to show you? S&P. I think I got that ready. S&P, probably not. Obviously, yen, just talked about it just now. Got a bearish ABCD. So quite a strong down channel as well. Let me see the S&P chart. Hopefully, there it is. So we got a bearish ABCD on the hourly, and your resistance at 4473. But I can show you S&P charts, and technically it kind of ignores the technicals, because, you know, dips are really aggressively bought, and it sort of skews the technical analysis. But, you know, if you were technically minded and you're looking to potentially short it, which could be risky, to be honest, because this is a humongous beast, 4473 is your resistance, and your red zone resistance from the harmonic breaks at 4469, 4470. If it does go above that, we'll invalidate this sequence, and then, you know, we'll turn into a bullish sequence. And, you know, you can just look at the daily. You know, it's just ridiculous. That's the COVID low. And so, you know, we're just on the tear. We have a bearish ABCD on the daily, and we're way, way above pitchfork. But like I was saying, technically it ignores aspects. You know, technical analysis doesn't necessarily apply when Powell's going to just pump so much liquidity in the markets. And not forgetting Jackson Hole as well on Friday. He could drop some taper hints. If so, we're going to have another volatile Friday. So I do recommend wrapping up all your trades before Friday. That's the US 500. And last but not least, I'm just going to show you the S&P sentiment. And this is the buy signal, because the retail guys shorted it. Like, you know, it would be probably... you can understand why they would do such a thing, because we had this big sell-off, and they thought, well, we'll have a bit of that. That looks quite good. And so they got here. Where are we? Yeah, they sold here. I'm not really sure why they sold there, but they did, and so we came up a lot. And if they continue to sell it, which looks like they are, we'll go up, and then we'll break the all-time high. So you see how this is a mirror image. Pretty much there's a slight delay, maybe a couple of hours delay there. And so that was the buy. Yeah, that was the buy there. That was a little sell signal, which was the false move, and then that was the buy. So whenever it crosses from above, it's a buy. When it crosses from below, it's a sell. And it's currently a buy because we're crossing from above. And it looks like we're going to go all the way down here again, and they're going to get royally screwed. And now it never really exceeded 20%. The lowest it really got was 18%. So I'd imagine it might come down to about 20%, 18% again. These guys are going to get absolutely slaughtered, and then, you know, we'll see price come down and do what it did before, because, you know, we did have that healthy retrace when they got really skewed. 18% around about here. and then they just had to get liquidated, and as soon as they did, then it had to fall. So when they go long, it's actually a sell. So that's just a fairly quick video. I'm back now, so if you've got any questions and stuff, let me know. If you want access to this, this is available on the spreadsheet, and I do recommend getting the stop loss cluster update indicators from fxssi.com, and you can just get their products there from this website address. I totally recommend it, and to use the Quasidb promo code as well, which has to be in caps. And that's that. So let me know what you think of the video. Any likes and subscribes would be cool, and you see what a difference that makes by putting in the promo code. So I'll speak to you guys soon, and have a good day. Don't forget Friday, be careful, try and wrap up your trades before, because it's going to be very volatile. And have a good day and a good week, and I'll speak to you soon.